Hey guys, Kayle here. Just throwing this at the start of the vid because I explained it poorly on stream. This is a discussion slash tier list where I explain my thoughts on top lane matchups and give you guys examples of runes and items to build. Hopefully you learned something new. If there's any questions, feel free to comment down below and have yourselves a good day. Later. Started. Aatrox. I'm gonna say it's... where is it? I'm gonna say it's Aatrox favored. Like I was saying earlier. Last game did not show why it's Aatrox favored, but basically there's a few niche things. Like he can throw out his Q, and his Q1, and it forces you to respond with your W, and then he still has his Q2, Q3 to go in with his E, and then W, if it ever hits you and you press W, you still get tether pulled to it. And his ult is just very, very good in the 1v1. Provides a lot of healing. He out-heals your ult when he does his spells mid-ult. So you can't really out-sustain him. You need heal cut at around like 2 items. I'd say that's when you can start beating Aatrox, but you do need to respect him in lane and farm properly under tower. And then, like I said, I'd do some runes. This is what I'd normally go. I've been testing out Overheal though, just because they like made it hella broken. But this is like the standard page I'd go. If they have an AD jungle, you go this because double AD. But let's say they have like AP jungle. Just do this. Health rune is very good past level 4. This is level 1 through 3. It's not better. Let's see. Aatrox. Akshan. Tower's your BFF. Ranged top laner that you cannot deal with. He has PTA. He has his own 3-hit passive. He gains movement speed when he cancels his auto attacks. His Batman grappling hook makes it impossible for you to land needles. He can go invis and loop around to kill you. W really doesn't help you that much unless you're like getting ulted at like no HP. And at that point, if you're that low HP, you're already losing that lane. There's not really a point where you straight up beat him, because when you're strong enough to kill him, he's just gonna leave because he has so much mobility. So, what would I do? I'd do this, probably. Trying to think. Yeah, I would do this. And then same thing as before. If they're double AD... Oh, that's another thing. Akshan is mixed damage. You can't build against him. So if you go steel caps, the AP damage is still hurting you. And if he goes things like Wit's End, and you try to build, like, I don't know, randomly, like, Force of Nature, which isn't good, it's just, like, MR item I can think of. The physical damage is still hurting you. Yeah, rule of thumb, if it's AD top AD jungle or AP top AP jungle, do these. I'm not really gonna, like... I'm not gonna keep switching these. I'm just gonna tell you guys, like, double AD this, double AP this, 1 and 1 do this. And then I would go like Doran's shields, 1 health potion. So you need the presence of mind to have enough mana. Alright, who's next? We're only doing top lane, by the way. Camille, skill matchup. Basically, both characters love spacing, so it's just who has better spacing. Camille has slightly better range with her W, but Gwen has the tools to go in when she throws it out. So when she presses W, you E forward, and then you're in melee range, and you're building your Q stacks up while she's stuck in the W animation, and then she misses the tipper. They might want to see how Gwen players play Kha'Zix in your famous... Listen, if we were to do a jungle tier list, every jungler beats her. Every jungler beats her pre 14 minutes. But, in this matchup, you need to be careful about using your Q4 past level 6, because Camille can always reactionary press R before the final snip, and the same thing goes for your ult 3. If either of those abilities are missed in the 1v1, you lose. Also try to fight her while she's she has her shield passive down, so you can deal the most possible damage. I would go this. If they don't have a lot of CC on the enemy team, I would go Overgrowth instead. But this is a very standard page. In a lot of matchups, you'll just see this. Oh, whoops. I should just... Alright, what's next? Oh. Okay. So you guys might be wondering, why is a mid laner currently in a top lane tier list? She has a 53.4% win rate in top lane. Gwen is designed to lose to Cassiopea. She has to walk forward, which Cassio has her standard QE, which gives her movement speed, so Gwen can never dash forward and get an auto attack to reset her next dash. And even if she does get in the 1v1, Cassio throws W on the floor, and you are no longer allowed to press E, which is half of your damage in, like, early. So, like, when you press E, like, rank 1, it adds, like, I think it's, like, 30 or 40 on hit, level 1, or rank 1. Scaling with your AP, of course, but this lane's impossible. If you use W to walk towards her, she throws W on the floor after your W's out. Or if you try to save your W, she ults you and then full bursts you. You literally cannot win the lane. So you can do a few things. You can go something similar to Akshan, which is just like full defense. Or if their team has carries that are very easy to jump onto, you just go full economy and you try to coin flip every single team fight in the game by going this. And all you're trying to do is use your first strike and treasure hunter to kill the 80 carry support and scale back into the game that way, because you are never beating Cassiopea. Basically, you're screwed. Yes. If you see Cassio, either dodge or go one of the 2 rune pages I showed. Alright, Akali skill matchup. Very similar to Camille, actually. Her spacing is in her Q. Here, let me pull up the standard rune page. But her spacing is based off of her Q rather than her W. So basically, just space that out early ranks. It costs like 115 energy or something. Just so long as you're not giving her empowered auto attack, you can win the trade. Level 6, you need to look out for kill thresholds from the Akali. But so long as you're farming properly and you're trading when you're Q4 stacks, you should never fall behind into this lane. But if the Akali player is good, she will always find a kill on you. And if you're good enough with your W to dodge her E and her Qs, then you win. I haven't fought Cassio. She can't be that bad. Just read the, read where she is. Alright, Yeah, standard page against Akali. Really nothing special to specifically beat Akali. Just space better than her and farm better than her, and you'll win. And use your W to avoid her kill thresholds. Let me make sure we didn't miss any top players first row. Nope. Alright, Cho'gath. Super Gwen favored. It honestly might be here. Yeah, it's kind of free, honestly. The only thing you need to be scared about is the first, like, 3 levels. Because Cho'Gath's E plus Grasp of the Undying does a lot of damage and can force you out of lane early. And if you're forced out of lane early, you will just lose based off of XP and gold. But if you can get to level 4 by dodging Cho'Gath's Qs and just not fighting him, he can never beat you. Because when he tries to knock you up, you press W, and then you just dash into him. And the second he tries to walk into your circle and then silence you so he can get the trade back, you walk back and you move your W forward or back, depending on the positioning. And the W he throws will whiff, and at that point he only has E auto attacks. And you just end the trade with Q and then walk away. And then at 1+ items, Gwen always one-shots Cho'Gath regardless of what he's building, regardless of levels. Just so long as you're not behind like 2 levels, 3,000 gold, you're always going to kill this Cho'Gath. And the good thing about free lanes is you can literally do whatever you want. You could go this and go full scaling because you're allowed to because of how free the lane is. But if you want to play properly, you just go standard page again. And you can go things like conditioning, unflinching to scale better. Because the cool thing about conditioning is when you press W on Gwen, you gain armor and MR. And the conditioning scales off of the bonus stats you're getting from conditioning. So you're actually getting a lot more stats than people would think. And then just standard build as well. Riftmaker, all the funny Gwen items. Oh, let's see. Darius. So, even though I hate this guy, Gwen wins. Not hard, but if you're smart, you win. And this is how you win. GG. You go Doran's shield start into second wind. And what that does is whenever Darius lands a bleed proc on you, the second wind and Doran's shield infinitely reset when you're taking tick damage. So when you take, what is it, like 4 seconds of bleed, second wind and Doran's shield are active for those 4 seconds, and then they're still active on the last tick, and then you get the healing back. So second wind Doran's shield just completely outvalue the passive. Why not skill matchup? Because I genuinely think that Darius can never find a... Wow, that's loud.
Retirement.
Whoa.
Is a state of mind. Whether it's a mid-morning activity or an...
That was an ad from the tier list. I thought that was the music. That's funny. Okay, but why not a skill matchup? It's not a skill matchup because I think Gwen straight up wins. If you just keep your HP topped off with second wind Doran's shield... DMC for A from ads. Yeah, keep your HP topped off from Doran's shield, second wind. Level 6 if you have Blasting Wand. Poke him down with Qs, and then at about 60% of his HP, as long as you have around 80% yourself, you all in him, your Conqueror will proc halfway through the fight, and you will be able to out-heal with Doran's shield, second wind Conqueror healing, and your ult Q. So he will never find a kill threshold on you so long as you have those essentials in the matchup. Dr.Mundo. Same thing as Cho'Gath, it's just he's more designed to counter AP champions. So that's why he's here instead of here. Same thing though, as Cho'gath, you can go standard page, you go conditioning for scaling. I wouldn't recommend going first strike, because Mundo, like, Gwen is designed to be a tank buster, and I can't think of many AD carries that can consistently deal with this. So it's your job that game to deal with the Mundo, most likely. So go Conqueror, go Conditioning, go Riftmaker, Nashers, and then just melt him down. And then your ADC just pops off on the other 4 carries, or players. Is Amumu not considered a top laner? Nope. Amumu is jungle support currently. Alright, next. Fiora. Skill matchup, but the most annoying skill matchup, because it is completely RNG based on whether you're winning or not. So at the start of the lane, where your vital is placed is completely random, and if it's placed directly towards her, you are losing. You have to walk all the way back to your tower to reset the passive stack, and then when you walk up, she already has lane priority. But good Fiora players, when they see you start walking away, will walk you back to your tower, and then she'll zone you from XP range because you still have that really, really bad vital. So this is a skill matchup because you get to play around her vitals and you get to hug walls when she ults to deny her her 4 procs and for her ulti. But it's also RNG based from the very start of the game. Because if she has a vital specifically pointed at you at the start of the lane, you lose all lane priority and you're playing behind from the very beginning. Normally I would just go bone plating. Note of thumb, you always go heal because armor does not matter into Fiora. Just go the HP. Yeah, very standard page, just like a lot of these. Let's see. Gangplank. So this is also a skill matchup, and the skill comes from barrel management, and it comes from who's better. Is GP better at blowing up his barrels and killing waves than you, or are you better at popping his barrels and reactionary Wing it when you miss the W, or sorry, when you miss the barrel explosion? Because Gwen has auto attack E, and then auto attack the barrel again to insta kill the barrel. So it's really hard for GP at certain times to kill his barrels. But then he can set up phantom barrels, one parts, stuff like that. But that's where your W comes in, because when you realize that you're not going to kill that barrel and he's shooting it, you press W on reaction, and you don't receive any damage taken. One thing you also need to be scared of is if the GP double passive auto resets. I don't know if any of you watch Solar Baka. He's super, super good at it. Even sometimes I've seen him do triple passive resets, and he'll one-shot tanks. Because GP barrels on destruction reset the burn effect on his auto attacks. And that's where all of his damage will be coming from, because you're going to be occupied killing all the barrels. And against GP, you can get away with this. I would go business, actually. If you are having fun in normals, I recommend this. Because what you can do is when GP places a barrel in the minion wave, you can walk forward to kill it while your first strike is active. And when he shoots the barrel, you press W, and then you just press dash forward Q, and your first strike will proc every single time. And it is free gold. I've played so many GP matchups. This can work if they have a threat like a Maokai jungle. Just go standard page. But first strike can definitely work. And a fun fact is Gwen, in my opinion, is the best character in the game to farm first strike. GP is the second. So Gwen is better at using GP's best rune than GP is. We already at Garen. You. Enemy favored. Look, if you guys have fought against Garen, you already know. The auto Qs, E's, phase rush proc spins away. The auto Q E's, oh, you're in lethal, he presses ult. You really can't do much the second Garen lands the Q. And there's nothing really, like, skillful you can do against him. It's just, did you farm better than Garen? And most of the time, that's not going to be the case because Garen insta-kills the waves with Iron Spike Whip plus his E. So it is Garen favored. At 3 items, though, you can kill him just like almost every character in the game. You just have to make sure that his first strike is, his phase rush is on cooldown because Garen will outspeed you. Garen is just favored matchup for everyone. Yeah, it is a stat stick matchup. Most of the time, your stats are going to be lower, so that's why Garen is favored, because his stats will be higher because he is farming better, and he is poking you better. And then the standard page against him. You definitely want unflinching here because unflinching will give you tenacity, which works on suppressions. Something niche you can try. I haven't put too much testing into this. Go coup de grace into Garen, because if you're in last stand range, so at below 30% HP, he's gonna ult you, ult ignite you, kill you. So you're not ever utilizing this rune into Garen. But if you're dueling Garen and you keep your health topped off with Conqueror ults, you're going to start dealing damage longer into the fight. That being said, he has to give you the fight for you to use this, but this almost never works into Garen anyway, so you can try this out as well. Oh, what's next? Gragas, Tower's your BFF. Any top laner knows that this is the most cancerous matchup in the game for probably 99% of top laners. You literally cannot get an advantage in this lane. And I'm saying that about every single top laner, almost. Whenever you try to all-in him, he presses E, Q auto, phase rushes away. When he gets Everfrost, it's even worse. He has amazing gank setups for his jungle, so you can never really escape him either. Like, this character is just designed to stagnate the laning phase and set up bombas, like you just said, Juice. So, Tower's your BFF. Let him clear his waves. You're just kind of hugging Tower, trying to scale up to 1 to 2 items and hopefully doing something mid-game with your team. And that being said, since the lane is so passive from you, you can do this if you want. Go full economy, full scaling. Just say, screw the laning phase, I want to be stronger later. Or if you think that you need to be stronger early game, meet in the middle. So go this for early skirmishes in jungle fights or dragon fights, and then scale up using Transcendence and Gathering Storm. Because when you go Bone Plating, he's going to throw Q and he's going to insta-kill it. And if you go Second Wind, it doesn't really benefit you enough because he's not dealing dot damage like a Darius would. He's just hitting Q and then going back to farming. And then this doesn't really help because he's going to ult you with, and it's a knock-up, so it doesn't work. It will work on the Everfrost route and the Gragas stun, but there's so much CC happening all at once that it doesn't really combine into anything meaningful. Like, he might miss the combo by like 0.5 seconds. You might get the dash off, but he's gonna ult you anyway, and you're gonna take the damage to knockback, and you're gonna die. So meet in the middle if you don't want to go first strike like this. Let's see. Oh, Gnar. What about Gnar and possibly Diana, since I can see her playing top? I've never seen Diana play top, so I'm not going to put her on here because I can't confidently say how the lane would go. But Gnar, super easy lane. Easiest top lane or range top lane matchup in the game. It's annoying, but it's super easy. Hey, what's good, Mashi? Lillia, yeah, I'll talk about Lillia when I get to her. So the thing about Gnar is just keep your HP topped off. He will never kill you, so it's a free farming lane. So you can go this. I will normally play this into Gnar, because what I like to do into Gnars is when they're playing back CSing, I will auto attack the melee minion, giving me the fleet footwork proc, and I will then run at them, dash forward Q. And I will win the trade because when they try to trade back with their auto attack Qs, I press W. When he's in Mega Gnar, you just deal so much max health that not really a tank. He's just as squishy as he is in mini form. Just with a little bit of CC that you have to dodge. So just don't play next to walls and you'll be chilling. Just played a ranked game 1 as Gwen. I'm happy. Good job. But you can go fleet footwork in this matchup. Keep your health topped off. I always say go Doran's Ring here when you run these two, because you already have enough sustain. If you do Conqueror, you can either go Doran's Ring for extra mana or Doran's Shield for extra safety since you're not going the fleet. So I say this rune page and then Doran's Ring for sure, or Doran's Shield if you go this. Heimerdinger top. Fleet used more than I thought. Yeah, fleet is pretty good. Alright, but Heimer, he's going to place his turrets down. He is going to perma-push the wave. You do not have a choice about being under tower. Against Akshan and Gragas, you have a little bit of a choice. Heimerdinger, you are playing under tower. You are not interacting with him, you are interacting with his turrets. That being said, if he misplaces a turret, you can press W, walk forward, auto attack, E auto, and then press either one more auto and Q, you kill the turret. And you gain that space back. You are literally just trying to scale into the mid game because you are not winning the lane, but you're not gonna lose the lane so long as you're holding your W for when he uses his empowered ult. So you can go first strike like this. I'd say go biscuits for sure. And then second wind, unflinching for his stun. But if you do go this, you are not trying to proc the first strike ever in lane. This is specifically for mid game when you're at one item and you're trying to kill an easy target to get a little bit of extra gold to come back into the game a little bit faster. If they have a tank, jungle, or bruiser, you can go Conqueror like this. But if you're trying to come back into the game after being stuck under tower for about 15 minutes, you can just do this. Heimer top brings me physical pain. Yup, that is why you are just trying to not think about it. You're trying to just think about the mid game with this rune page. The biscuits are to help you sustain just a little bit those first 4 levels. The second wind is supposed to keep you topped off when you're getting pot shotted from 300 or from 800 units away from his W's. And you're just trying to last hit under tower. You can honestly also, you go Doran's Ring here because you don't have any mana regen. Your first reset, you buy Kayle. And you just try to get back into the game that much quicker because you're just trying to CS what you can, get to mid game, kill one target with first strike, get 100 CS off of Kayle, and then you theoretically got a kill. Alright, what's next? Illaoil. Alright. So, I will explain this. And I know a lot of you are gonna try to tell me how crazy broken Illaoil is in this game. And I'm gonna say something that you guys will hate. Illaoil is not a good character, and I think she needs buffs. She is designed around one ability, and that is her E. As Gwen, when you are farming, you sit behind your minions, she cannot land E. When you are farming and there are no minions for you to hide behind, she will throw out E. You know what you do? You press W and you immediately win the trade. Because the second she commits her E, you press Ghost, Alt to slow her, and you take the 1v1. If Illaoil presses R, you leave. Because she wins the 1v1. But the second that E is down, you go for the trade, and you're trying to play chicken with her. So if she uses E, you all in her. She presses Alt, you leave. She doesn't press Alt, you kill her. That she isn't good? Yeah. I don't know if any of you watch XPedo. He has a beautiful quote. Dodge the E or dodge the game. If you dodge the E, you win. If you don't dodge the E, you are dead. And also, small interaction real quick about this. If she lands the E on you and you press W, you will still take the damage. So always make sure that if you do not think you will dodge this E coming out, you immediately press W. But against her, Conqueror, that you guys have seen it all before. Bone plating, because she does hurt. While my friend and I suck at dodging, then you suck at fighting Illaoil. You learn to dodge, you learn to fight Illaoil really, really good. But yeah, she'll go for like auto attack QW. The bone plating's really good there. If she ever E's you, you don't try to trade back. She has already won that trade. Just play around her E and you will win. Alright, what's next? Irellia. This matchup is very, very fun. So this is a skill matchup in a way that it's not like any other character. And it all revolves around your Q stacks. And the Irellia passive stacks. So if Irellia is 4 stacks, you don't fight her. She obviously wins. But if she's 0 stacks and you're 4 stacks, you win. Because you can use your W to fizzle out her E as long as you're spacing properly and using your W to move it away from Irellia. So it's literally just stack management. Do you have 4 Q stacks? Yes. Go in. Does she have 4 passive stacks? Yes. You're hiding under your tower. Like, this is a very fair and fun matchup because you guys both have very obvious times to go in. And you both have the indicator. But never fight her on Bork. If you have Riftmaker and she has Bork, do not fight her. Just wait to 2 to 3 items, you'll beat her again. Before Blade of the Rune King, though, complete 50-50. She gets Blade of the Rune King, she wins. You get a second item versus her 2 items, you win. Oh, rune page standard. I'm looking at this like complete standard. You want bone plating for Irellia, everything else is amazing. Like, this is the most fair and honest, like, back and forth in a top lane matchup you can have. You guys know my opinion on Jax. He should be put into prison. He is awful. But you do have moments where you can win. And that moment is at 850 gold. You get Blasting Wand, you can trade with him. The second he gets ult, he wins. And it's like, okay, now I'm level like 8 or so. You know, I have a few components. I can try to trade back and forth, which you can try to do. And you might even get a kill. And then he comes back into the lane with Divine Sunderer, and he's 0-5-0. And then you get solo killed under your tower. And you guys are probably wondering why I'm so specific. And that's because that happened to me. I was 4-0 against this Jax. He comes back, 0-5-0. Solo kills me under my tower. I missed no abilities. I hit Q4, and I still died. Fuck this champion. Nerf Divine Sunderer. It should not work on anything other than tanks, but Riot specifically buffed it to work better on non-tanks. If his items were worse, he would be here. But because his items are so good, like Blade of the Rune King, Triforce, Divine Sunderer, he is here. He also invalidates your auto attacks with his E, but I think that's a fun thing in the matchup. If his items get nerfed, he becomes this. Until then, there. Can we get a item pick of that item and just put it you can't win? Can I add it? Nope, I can't. Okay, it's Divine Sunderer, you can't win. There you go. Imagine it's right here. Divine Sunderer right here, Blade of the Rune King right here. Really strong items. Yeah, if Divine Sunderer, Triforce, Blade of the Rune King weren't all that, like, this might honestly be a fun matchup. But specifically because of his items dealing the damage instead of him, it's not fun. It's so annoying. Maximum effort, yeah. Oh, right. Standard rune page, you don't need anything specific. You just try to win a fair top lane matchup until Divine Sunderer completely hide under that tower. Wait till 3 or 4 items. Then you can start fighting him again. Otherwise, group with your team. And if he doesn't respond, you guys 5v4 and you win the game. So long as you have teammates, not bots. Oh, what's next? Jayce. Tower is your BFF. It's very similar to Akshan, but instead of having mobility, he has higher damage thresholds in which he can kill you. So it's like a pick your poison. It's like this out mobilities you, so you can't. That's why you can't win. This out damages you, so that's why you can't win. Very standard. Crying about range top lane matchup. Just try to survive. Go something like this if you're very, very set on popping off your HP and getting all the XP and gold you can. If you're fine with giving up a few waves, go Conqueror, and then try to scale back into the game in team fights or side laning at later stages. But second wind, definitely better than bone plating because one auto attack in the bone plating is gone. It's not going to do anything. Another thing you can do, go this and this. Actually, this and this. You go this and this, and you first buy plated steel caps. It's not even that good because Jayce, for some reason, when he swaps his weapons, gets passive armor shred. But we're doing what we can here. Like, we're playing a tank buster into a ranged top laner. I'm not saying she's good into it. I'm just saying, if you like Gwen as much as me, this is what you have to do to try to win. Does your W work on Jayce's Electro Ball thing? Yes, so long as he's not standing inside of the field yourself. Or so long as he's not in the field with you. I remember that game where you went Jayce, and I can confirm Tower is your BFF. Let's see. I'm losing my place every time. Kayle. Alright. So, this is probably going to be the most reverse thing you guys have ever heard about Kayle from League of Legends. Gwen loses laning phase, but beats Kayle level 16. Kayle cannot deal with Gwen whatsoever at level 16. But from levels 1 to like 8, Kayle wins. After that, Gwen starts winning. The reason being is levels 1 to 4, lethal tempo is absolutely shredding you. If you take a level 1 fight from Kayle Gwen, Kayle is first blooding you every time. That being said, if you just soak XP, you don't even worry about farming, get level 9 or so, you can 1v1 her. Level 11, you can start solo killing her. And then level 16, Kayle cannot do a thing to you if you have very good W management. Kayle is unbeatable at level 16. I have a video on YouTube with me dunking a level 16 Kayle. She cannot do a thing. Here, let's... Wait. There. I have a video right here. Okay, we got ad checked, but the thumbnail speaks for itself. Yeah, so all you have to do later in the game, use your W to block auto attacks. Because the thing about Kayle is she has her invulnerability field, but that lasts for about, what, 2.5 seconds? Your W lasts for 4. Your W is a better Kayle ult later in the game, because she cannot hurt you, as long as you're spacing properly with it. And then your ult outranges her auto attacks, and you can get gap close with your E and Ghost. What's next? We love ranged tops. So everything I said about Akshan... Oh, wait. First, standard page into Kayle, yada yada. You can go for a strike if you want. Don't advise it. Just go conk. Everything about Akshan and Jayce, Kennen does better. Kennen does better, and he also CCs you. He will poke you from as much distance as Jayce while you're trying to farm under tower. He has as much mobility as Akshan with his E because you cannot catch him. And the second he gets his level 6, you are dead. Because he is going to run at you, run through you, W, Q, auto attack for another proc. I don't know his combo. You press Alt, you get like, what, 9 stacks? So you're stunning them 3 times. It is absolutely abysmal. You are so scared of him, which is why you are probably doing something very similar to this. You need biscuits, most likely. You need evac more consistently, so you gotta run the Cosmic Insight. It's awful. Go Doran's Shield even. This lane is awful. I feel like anytime you get close to killing, he's able to run away too. That's another thing. Like, that's where it gets the, like, Akshan part of him. He just runs away when he realizes that he can't win the fight anymore. So he is a harder version of Jayce and Akshan combined. Cannot win. You are literally soaking XP and praying that your team is winning on every other aspect of the game. What champ do you ban usually? Tryndamere. I'll talk about him later. But good bans are Tryndamere, Kennen, Jayce. Those are probably the most 3 consistently banned characters that I will ban. Because they're very common where I play, and they're very easy. Minus Jayce. Jayce is hard to play. That's one caveat. Jayce is harder to play than any of these like characters here. Maybe except Akshan. So it's like this and this are hard to play. This is easy. You want to know why I know it's easy? Someone picked my Gwen, I picked Kennen, I absolutely dumpstered. I've never played Kennen in the past 5 years. Alright, Kled. Kled is a super free, super fun lane. There is just one thing that you need to keep track of, and that is his motorcycle HP bar. And I mean Scarl, but we're calling it a motorcycle. All you do is you go standard page, and you never dismount him until you're ready to go for the kill. So level 1, 2, 3, you're kind of chilling. You might trade back and forth a little bit, but mainly you're dodging Qs, you're CSing up, and you're poking him down when you can. The second you realize that he's too far up in your lane, you press Ghost, you dash forward, and hopefully you use your one auto attack on your E to dismount him. He is dead at that point. If he flashes away, your Ghost catches back up, and he cannot do a thing. It's all about his HP management. You never dismount him until you want to kill him, or send him back to lane, back to base, and then you force the TP. You never randomly fight him. You fight him when you want to kill, or you want to get the Scarl HP bar a little bit lower for your next kill setup. You can never mindlessly fight him, but if you're smart about your fights, very, very easy lane. Go plated steel caps, you're never dying. You can go like Doran's Ring into plated steel caps if you are very worried, but you can go Blasting Wand, tier 1 boots reset. You get a kill, then you go plated if you want. Plated and just invalidates him, and super free. Oh, are we already here? I'm still just double checking to make sure I didn't miss any like common top laners. I wanted to find one with just top laners, but I could not. Oh. If you fight a Trutut's fanboy that's still playing Kayn for some reason, super free lane, you can go first strike if you want. I'm not going to talk about this much because it's kind of getting phased out. Only like Trutut's really still plays this, and if you see anyone else playing this garbage pick, you're going to win the game for free. Go whatever you want within reason, like Conqueror, Fleet Footwork, First Strike. It don't matter. Kayn's not a champion until his form. Alright, someone was asking about Lillia earlier. I have fought 2 Lillia tops before, and a lot of Lillia jungles. If there is a champion that completely invalidates Gwen, 2 characters come to mind. Cassiopea, Lillia. Lillia has so much movement speed that Gwen can never catch up to her, even with Ghosts. She's way too hard to catch, and her Q outspaces yours. You are never killing her unless she messes up or your teammates hard CC her. You can bait her in with Drowsy. So if she puts sleep on you, you are still getting slept. You press W though, and when she tries to press Q, it will whiff. If she presses W on you, hopefully your team's around to help you. But that will give you a free timer to immediately wake up and press a 0 stack Q. And then hopefully your is enough to kill. But most Lilias will not be that stupid. She's just going to outspace you, outrun you, outduel you, out everything you. This character is amazing into Gwen. So that being said, you can go something like this if you want, because she does deal dot damage, I believe, on all of her abilities. If not all her abilities, she builds Leandries and Demonic Embrace, so this is going to get value regardless. And then probably just this. Like, Fleet Footwork isn't going to help you catch up. Ghost doesn't even help you catch up. Oh, we're on Malphite. Alright, in League of Legends, Scissors beats Rock. So there's not really a lot to say. It's just kind of you watch it once and it's like, wow, Malphite really can't play the game. If he throws Q on you, you press W, it fizzles. He doesn't get his Arcane Comet proc, he doesn't get his Mana Flow band. He's kind of dash forward Q. You can run First Strike if you want to farm him for gold, or you can just go Conqueror and one-shot him whenever you feel like, so long as his flash is down. And if he ults away, that's great. Your team doesn't have to deal with a Malphite ult for like the next 2 minutes at rank 1. There's nothing Malphite can really do. All he has in the matchup is when he presses E, the attack speed slows you for like 30 or 50%. And if he doesn't have a teammate next to him, it doesn't even matter. You just out-heal him, you out-duel him, you invalidate him as a character. Maokai. A lot of similar things about Malphite, but he's a lot more annoying mid-game. The lane is free, the mid-game is annoying. He's going to place saplings in bushes, he's going to deal dot damage. But the second you're like, I don't know, 500 HP, and he pops out of a bush to try to kill you, you're going to one-shot him with Riftmaker plus Nashor's Tooth. I have done First Strike into Maokai. I have one-shot him from full with one rotation of abilities. I think I went something like... It was like this. And then I went MR, just to be a little bit safer. I went something like this. I've gone Conqueror too. The lane is not hard. You get to just farm for free, basically. All you have to do is track the jungler. The only time you're in danger is when the jungler's topside, because he has a lot of lockdown, but he has no damage to actually murder you. Mordekaiser. I'd say it's enemy favored. So early game, I'd say it's very easy. Or not easy, very even. You guys are both doing the same thing. You both bought Doran's Ring, most likely, 2 potions, and you're just trying to CS. When his passive procs, you really don't want to fight him. And when he wants to all-in you with his ult, you can just press W on reaction. I've done this multiple times. The second he presses R, you can press W to cancel it. And when he walks into your field to try to ult you again, you can move your field, and his ult will cancel again. And at that point, hopefully you're either by a tower or wall and you just kind of leave. But when you fight him with Roa, kind of just auto wins. Riftmaker does not give enough burst damage to try and win the 1v1 because he is a sustained character just like you, but I feel like in the 1v1 specifically, he uses Conqueror better, so his HP is always going to be higher. And then if you go the First Strike one-shot builds, you're not going to deal enough damage through his shield. So it's just very hard for Gwen to deal with until about 4 items. So if you guys both have Riftmaker, don't fight. If you guys are both 2 items, don't fight. Once you get to 3 or 4 items, you can start going for the fight. Because I'm going to assume that you guys have Riftmaker, Shadow Flame, and Decap. Or maybe instead of Decap, you went Nash's too. 3 items, that is your minimum to fight him. 4 items, you're going to win most of the time. And then standard page, go Bone Plating because his Q does deal a lot of damage. Just very standard, strong top lane, Gober. smacks you hard, sends you to Brazil. Alright, the dog. So Nasus is interesting. He is a scaling character just like you, but I feel like he does what Malphite wishes he could do. And what I mean by that is Nasus Wither makes fighting so hard for Gwen. The slow is so potent and the attack speed is so noticeable that you will accidentally cancel your own auto attacks because you're used to your current attack speed. From levels like 1 to 5, you are bullying him. You might even get a solo kill. But when he's level 6 and onward, it's going to be very hard to catch him off guard, because the second he realizes you're all-inning, he presses Wither, ult. He is winning that trade. And if he doesn't have ult, he withers you, he ghosts away, or flashes. Either work, because Wither is so potent. At 1 item, he'll probably beat you. At 2 items, he'll probably beat you. And anything past 2 items, Nasus is where he wanted to be the entire time. He probably has 800 stacks. No one can deal with him at that point, and you are probably going to lose if you do not get your jungle to help come assist you and shut him down early. You know, Nautilus, we'll briefly talk about it. I've fought it before. Oh yeah, Nasus standard page, obviously. Same as Mordekaiser, very standard. Nautilus has a lot of lockdown, but you just kind of invalidate it, right? Because when he throws Q, you press W. It's either going to hit a minion, nothing, or a wall. It's not going to hurt you. When he presses ult, you are going to feel really glad that you played Gwen into Nautilus, because you just press W and it fizzles out the Nautilus ult, as long as he's not in the field with you. He has a lot of lockdown like Maokai, but it's the same thing where it's like, but what does lockdown really do to me? And then you just, he's big tank, percent max health, true damage. I would just go Conqueror, standard page. There's going to be a point here where we start talking about like very specific setups, because there are certain lanes where you can win way easier with specific summoner spells and runes. Right. What's next? Olaf. I think Olaf's a skill matchup. When he was really good top lane, I still think he wasn't that much of a problem. I think that people just gave Olaf too much respect and would let him farm when he wasn't allowed to. He is scary, but when Olaf presses R, you press Ghost. If he throws an axe, you press W, so you're no longer slowed. By the time he picks the next axe back up, his ult ended, you just turn the fight back at him and all in him after that. Just play around his ult. If you see him glowing, leave. The second he stops glowing, run back in with your Ghost. And you are probably just gonna out-bully him. When CSing, try to stack up your Q4 and hit him while you're last hitting minions. That's like a very generic thing to say, but like, I feel like this is just a very generic matchup. Just don't fight him when he ults, dodge axes. You will probably find a solo kill if they're bad. If you're bad at dodging though, you're probably going to be like this. But yeah, standard page. You can, if you want, go like this. But I would advise against it. I would probably do that if I felt like the enemy team comp allowed it, but most of you will probably just do. Oh, let's see. Ornn. Gwen favored. It's not as free as these guys. You have to deal with Ornn upgrades later into the game. So it's like, even though we're talking about lane, like, Ornn wants to get to late game, you want to get to late game, so you guys are both getting what you want, and it's kind of more dependent on are his teammates ready to get upgraded and win the game rather than you versus him. Just kind of outspaces fire. If you're brittled, just walk away. Don't let him proc it for free. You can go first strike if you want, because the lane is that free. You auto-attack minions up until you have Q4. And then you just dash forward, you press Q, and then you walk away. You earned like 31 gold at that point, and you're feeling pretty good. You might not find some solo kills if you do this. So if you're going for pure solo kills to deny or an XP, just do standard page. I'd probably advise, or like go conditioning, because you don't really need the bone plating in him. He's not gonna find a kill threshold where bone plating usually matters. Whoops. Pantheon. So this is where we start getting into specific setups. Not with summoner spells yet, but basically you win at specifically level 7-8. And the reason is because of Gwen's E. Gwen's E will give 20% attack speed at rank 1 and a little bit of on-hit damage. 15 plus 20 AP, right? I gotta go, Nightkiller. Good night. So at rank 2, you get 35%. A dagger gives you 12% attack speed. So you not only get your 350-ish gold for a level up, you're also getting 350-ish for just leveling this ability one time. And then again, at rank 3. Or wait, my bad. Level 7? Or no, it's level 8. I'm sorry. Level 8, you will have this. I misspoke. Level 8, you will have this. And you'll win. At level 10, you'll have this, right? Yeah, you'll have 3 points in E at level 10. But you will go plated steel caps first. You'll get a Doran's shield. You'll chill. Just try not to die, because if he gets serrated Dirk and he solo kills you, it's kind of over. You should go armor rune into him specifically, though. But at level 7, he's going to try to space you out near your tower. You press Ghost. If he presses his E for shield, you dash behind him, right? Or you just run through him with Ghost. And you just keep slowing him with your ultimate. Pantheon does not have an ultimate at level 6. So that is why it's specifically level 7 you want to try to fight. Because he doesn't have an ultimate for a 1v1. And you have an extra dagger with this ability alone. Yeah, just standard page. Specifically play for Doran's ring start. Immediately plated steel caps. Look for the solo kill level 6 or 7. Poppy. Enemy favored now. I feel like before she was buffed, it was like this. But she just got so much extra from her recent buffs. I believe it was like extra resistances at like every stage of the game. But her W is designed to deny specifically mobile champions. Gwen's a very mobile champion with her E. She's gonna stun you into a wall. You can do funny things like cancel her passive by pressing W when she throws her shield at you. But other than that, you're just kind of chilling. She's never going to find kills on you without a jungler. But she has the same problem as Jax, where she's going to build Divine Sunderer, and after laning phase, she will just one-shot you. And you'll be like, oh my god, Poppy's so broken. And then you're going to hover Divine Sunderer, and you're going to be like, why did that already deal 1600 damage 4 minutes after buying? But yeah, standard Paige, unflinching really good because she's such a hard lockdown character. You won't get stunned as long. Maybe you can escape with Ghost or Needle Throws. Quinn? Power's your BFF. Very annoying. You're not going to do much without your jungler. She is going to have better damage than Akshan at most stages, but she's not going to be as mobile, right? She's going to be mobile when she goes and roams and kills your mid laner at level 6 and you get spam pinged for it. Like, you could do something. But the second she chooses to press E, that's it. You can ghost her down if you didn't lose enough HP. Same thing with Pantheon, actually. Go this rune page, rush for tier 2 boots, because you'll be able to run her down quicker, and hopefully you can find a solo kill so long as she's stepping too far up. Another trick that you can do into range top lane matchups specifically is a lot of them will use A-clicking. I use A-clicking. And what will happen is if they're trying to hit you and you press W, they'll walk back towards you. And you'll get an extra free auto attack, and she'll be out of position way, way worse than she already was. And then sometimes Quins will press E when you dash forward, press W, and they're just walking back towards you, just like the auto attack thing. Specifically runes, you might want to go Fleet Footwork. Kind of like the Gnar thing, where you want to use your Fleet Footwork on a minion to get movement speed just a little bit more distance towards her. But if you want to go standard Page, that don't matter. I would say go Doran's Shields over Doran's Ring, just because the shield will probably be a little bit more valuable when she's pot-shotting you when you're last-hitting caster minions. But if you want to go Doran's Ring for sure, go Fleet Footwork. I have been testing Overheal. I think Overheal is a very, very powerful rune. You can get away with it if you go Fleet Footwork, Doran's Ring, 2 potions. I think this is enough. But any like combination like this, just be sure to go Doran's Shield with this. I'll probably use D-Shield just to be safe. Yeah, that's totally respectable. Like, D-Shield is super good in specific instances. I have been seeing this a lot, so I want to talk about it briefly. Rek'Sai top. I did play it before it was like quote unquote meta. I've played against it a few times after Rek'Sai was buffed. Gwen just kind of destroys her. Rek'Sai's will normally go TP Ignite into like Hullbreaker second. Most of the time you're going to outduel her. You're never going to find solo kills after her tunnels are fully set up. But if she ever commits to a full fight, you're going to win the full fight. Standard Page. Trying to think if there's anything else I might go. You definitely want bone plating specifically for Rek'Sai. Just make sure to dodge her burrowed Q. That is the projectile. You have to make sure that that does not hurt your bone plating. She has to knock you up and then use her 3 auto attacks with her Q. That is when you know that you're going to win the trade. When she does that, and then you all in her. Because her E does not do as much damage as most people think. At least, like, early game. When it's rank 1, 2. Rank 3, it kind of spikes up a bit, and that's when she's gonna start hurting a lot more. But just a really interesting top laner, very mobile once her tunnels are set up. Just focus on destroying her tunnels. You're probably going to get camped because Rek'Sai is very good at setting up ganks, so you might need to play under tower if they're duoed. But League is in such a bot meta state that it's like this. The second junglers care about top side, though, it's this. So keep that in mind if you are using stuff like Porofessor and the and it tells you like, oh, top jungler duoed. Fuck, I've been talking for an hour and 16 minutes straight. This shit ain't hitting. At least I have a drink next to me. Let's see. Oh, Renekton. Alright. Renekton wins. I'm gonna be honest, I really don't know when Gwen starts winning. There is a point where Gwen starts winning, though. It's probably about 4 items, if I'm being realistic. Just a lot of his items are really scary. He has very potent CC. Can swing in and out of fights whenever he chooses. He can dash onto a minion, Q, dash out. The only reasons it's not like this is because these are a lot worse. These 5 are a lot worse than this. Just go bone plating, plated steel caps. You can try to duel him. You're not really going to get solo kills into him, though. Just try to see if your jungle can come help, and just try to go even in lane. Don't try to win it. Rengar. This pick is for ranged top lane players that are insecure. You are playing a ranged top laner when you lock in Rengar top. This lane is absolutely abysmal. I have seen one video on YouTube when I was trying to like push for diamond. I got absolutely destroyed by a Rengar top, and I just immediately did research. Like, how do I beat this thing? The way I saw a Korean Master Tier player win this matchup is he went standard rune page, he went teleport ignite, and he sat under tower until his jungler came 3 or 4 times. Gwen can never beat Rengar by herself. And then he also went Seeker's Arm Guard and plated steel caps. But the problem right now at this current patch is that Rengar, or AP Rengar, is just as viable as AD Rengar. So if he sees plated steel caps on you, he can pivot into AP. Because his build path is so varied. So you really can't do anything about Rengar. You know what, actually? This. You can't win. I'm saying it out loud. I'd rather fight a Jayce. It feels like these are all the same. Rengar absolutely should not be a top laner. It is disgusting. Like, ugh. Like, if you see Rengar top blinded, play anything else. Don't play Gwen into this. Oh, Riven. Okay. This is where I was talking about specific summoner spells. Okay? So I have talked to a Riven OTP about this matchup specifically. He was on an alt account, and we talked just a little bit about the matchup because he absolutely dumpstered me. You will never take Ghost into Riven. You will do this standard rune page, this exact one, okay? You will go teleport and ignite. And your whole goal is to auto attack the minions as slow as possible. So about every 4 to 6 seconds, I forget the exact seconds, on Gwen's Q. No, it's 6. Every 6 seconds, you're auto-attacking the minions. You are keeping your 4 stacks on your Q, and you're bone plating up as often as possible. When Riven goes in for a trade, you are spamming Q, and you're going to dash away. The second Riven gets level 6, she has a kill threshold. You are going to immediately ignite her the second you see her press ult. And you are going to try to out-heal her damage threshold. And you're going to hope that it was enough. You're going to go plated steel caps when you can. And you're going to go standard Riftmaker, Nash's Tooth, all that stuff. Just make sure that you always hold the ignite for when she all-ins. You are never using your ignite aggressively. It is a defensive summoner spell in this lane specifically. I also like this matchup on both sides as well. I would much rather be Riven-sided. Riven-sided is so much less stressful. And I know this because I talked to that Riven OTP. 2 days later, I queued up against 3 different Riven players. None of them beat me in lane. They have no idea what to do so long as you take Ignite and you use it only defensively. Alright, I wish I could talk about Rumble top. I really can't. I believe like he's picked mid lane more now though. This current patch, I think they're trying to push him more to top. I can't really talk about this because I don't have experience. I'm not gonna try to BS my way through telling you guys wrong information. Alright, set. Set is about a spacing matchup. You are trying to play in this area where he wants to run forward with his Q and stun you. But you're going to play at this very specific range where when he presses E, it whiffs. Now keep in mind, Set can angle his E and get a little bit more distance, so you need to keep that in mind and dodge right or left. But the second he uses Q and E to try to do that trade, you all in him. But you don't use your E. You're going to walk forward and auto-attack him with Q and ult if you have it. And the second he presses W, you dash left, behind, or right. And he has to reactionary flash. If he doesn't reactionary flash, you get the kill. If you somehow get caught by that E to begin with, and you have to run away from the fight with dash, when he presses W, you can press W yourself at the tip. You're completely safe. This is a spacing matchup specifically. Go standard page. Once he gets Bork, I still think you win, but you have to still play that spacing game, right? Don't get E'd. Use your dash. Why is Lillia worse than Jayce? Just jumped. Lilia's movement speed out-kites any character in the game. If Gwen has Ghost, she still gets outspaced and outran by Lillia. You cannot play the game into a Lillia. Same thing as Cassio. You cannot play a game into any of these 4. These are the 4 horsemen of top lane. Yeah, no hard CC. That's another reason. Yeah, I talked about everything here. Standard page for him. Just this. Use your E specifically to dodge his W. If he flashes and gets the true damage, you're probably dead, but he's just that good. And you gotta kind of respect it. Is Shen next? Oh yeah, Shen. Tank matchup top. Gwen is designed to counter tanks. Just make sure you're not trying to fight him levels 2 and 3. His Q is very, very strong early. It's gonna fall off really, really hard once you recall and buy your blasting wand. The second he TP's bot to ult somebody, you get 2 or 3 plates. And you're just gonna have a fun time. I've never been scared of a Shen player. The best Shen players I've fought didn't win the game because they won the lane. They won it because they ulted bot and their Samira got a quadra kill. Yeah, Shen wins with the team. He absolutely loses to you. Singed, the fifth piece of Exodia. Singed will only fight you when he wins. And what I mean by that is he is always proxying, right? We've all seen Singed in League of Legends. He is going to proxy farm in between the waves. He's going to recall, come back with Boots of Swiftness, and he's going to run around you. And you can't really do anything as Gwen to stop that. And that's just going to repeat for the rest of the game. There's never a point in the game, even at 6 items, where Gwen beats Singed. She can always kill Singed at like 1+ items, but the problem is Singed is so mobile that you never get the chance to kill him. So you can never kill him, you can never beat him. That being said, things that can make it a bit better. Second Wind for his poison. It's like Darius, where the second wind will reset. You can also go Doran's shield. But specifically, since he's a proxy farmer, start Cull. Right? He wants to proxy farm most lanes. You just farm under tower, you stack Cull. And you just hope that you have CC on your team, because you're not going to ever touch him, and you're going to pray that your mid laner, jungle, ADC, support can deal with him, while you deal with everyone else on the enemy team. Oh, excuse me. Let's see. Sion. Just like Singed, this is the best matchup in the game. You are guaranteed to get at least 2 solo kills into Sion. You can go whatever you want. If you want to go first strike and full economy him, that's good. I would say go minion demon to match him in wave clear, because he's just trying to farm, get plates. So when he goes for plates, you get solo kills. Go something like this, outscale him, outvalue him. You can always match him in the side lane, no matter how far ahead you are or how far behind you are. And also, go Nashor's Tooth first. Because since you're always solo killing him, all you're trying to do is nullify the split push. So take Nashor's Tooth and Minion Demon to wave clear. And I managed to lose to him. That is impressive. That's impressive. Yeah, if you want to have fun, Nashor's Tooth into Proto Belt, you're going to one-shot him. If you want to go standard, you go this. Honestly, you can still go this. If you want to be very, very safe, you go this. But you're just always going to kill him. You're always going to outvalue him. You're just going to do everything better. What's next? Is it Singed? Yeah, it's Singed. Vayne. We'll get to Vayne, don't worry. Alright, Swain. Definitely beats you in lane. I'd say it's a harder Akali matchup, right? Swain's and Akali's Q are both like this cone mid-range ability that's gonna outspace your Q. With Akali, her Q is the same range, I believe, but with Swain, you just get outranged. His W is not really a scary thing, but it's just he's a drain tank, so you're never gonna find kill thresholds. And the second you try to all-in him, he presses R, he roots you. If he's scared of the fight, he walks away after rooting you. If he thinks he wins the fight, he's gonna pull you in and just win the fight. Not much you can do in lane, but I'd say at about 3 items you can kill him. You do need Oblivion Orb after your mythic item, or if you go Nashor's for farming, you just always need Oblivion Orb into this character. Oh, Tahm Kench. I've seen Tahm Kench a little bit, so I'll talk about it quick. Most of you probably don't have to deal with this, but a harder tank matchup. I'd say a little bit harder than Ornn because of his W. You have no real way to lock him down in a fight, so the second he's about to die in the fight, he W's away. If he ever W's into the fight, though, and you have your ultimate, you're just gonna win. You're gonna try to go Riftmaker into Shadow Flame specifically because the Tahm Kench shield. But if you just get to level 6 and he hasn't solo killed you, neither of you are really gonna kill each other unless you mess up. Either you're gonna get outspaced and W knocked up 8 solo killed, or he's gonna W inward, and after he eats you, you're just gonna throw all your needles, Conqueror activates, and you're gonna out heal his damage before he kills you. Oh, and whenever Tahm Kench tries to land a max range Q, just press W. It's in that very safe area where Gwen is immune, and you're happy. Teemo. Very annoying range top laner. Way easier to deal with than any of these guys, though. You're basically playing against ranged Darius, if that makes sense. You're gonna go Fleet Footwork for the same reasons that you're going it into Gnar. You want to get on top of him. It also heals a lot in the lane, like way more than you guys might think. Second win for the dot reset. Doran's shields is needed here. And you do need an early red trinket. So I would say buy control wards if you're scared of enemy junglers, because you need the red trinket once level 6 starts. Because you can find solo kills on him if he's at your tower. You just cannot step on a shroom. Rush. Trendmere. You can't win. You really can't. He E's on top of you, and then when you try to dash away, he W's you and you're slowed. You can't really use your W at a good instance in the fight. He can always tower dive you after level 6, and you're not going to be healing because he's at 1 HP, right? So when you ult him and you use your Q to deal quote-unquote damage, the damage isn't coming out. So since you're dealing 0 damage to a 1 HP Tryndamere, you're not healing. All you can really do, farm safely. Zhonya's is very good into him. Standard rune page, because you're not really doing anything to him. You're just going to try to do stuff to his team. And if you're forced to hold the side lane, Zhonya's second. It's needed, because when he ults you and tries to tower dive, you press Zhonya's, he has to leave. You don't get a kill, mind you. He has to leave. You're letting him leave, because you can't chase him and get the kill. Oh, also, he takes Lethal Tempo. Lethal Tempo, I think, is a really strong rune, and he utilizes it perfectly. Udyr. Oh, no, sorry. Right there. Udyr, absolutely destroys you level 1. Udyr top isn't as common, but they'll go Phoenix Stance and stuff like, I don't know, Demonic Embrace, Radiant Virtue, Jack Show, stuff like that. He'll just wave clear very, very efficiently. So when you try to fight him, you're also fighting 6 minions. And 2 items is when Udyr is strongest. So once you're about 4 items, then you can fight him. But other than that, there's not much to say. He's a character with 4 auto attacks. You're not really utilizing your W at a specific instance, because it doesn't really matter. He's just auto attacking, and he's just gonna out stat check you. Yeah, that standard page, Riftmaker, Nashor's Shadow Flame, Rabadons, everything like that. Let's see. Urgot. Urgot is enemy favored. Very annoying early game. He's gonna get really random kills on you. Level 1, I think he takes E. Yeah, it's E. If you try to fight him, he's gonna pull you into the 6 minions or whatever minions are left on the field. You come back into lane, it's not much better. All you're really gonna do is try to survive. I would say bone plating in this matchup specifically, because he's a way shorter ranged top laner than things like Akshan, Teemo, stuff like that. So you can utilize the bone plating when he tries to E in. Fleet footwork, Doran's shield, plated steel caps. When he tries to ult you, you can press W to dodge it. Not really much more to be said than, yeah, he wins. Good luck. Hold out while you can. Get to 4 items and you're going to deal with him. If you try to fight him on 2, he's going to solo kill you with his W. Vayne. Vayne is enemy favored, but you can do a lot to her. There is one specific instance where you find solo kills, and it's when she presses condemn on you. She's gonna press condemn, and you're going to react off of the sound effect of her pressing condemn, because it's different from her auto attacks. Press W, she no longer has any way to escape the fight other than flash, or a ghost if she took it. So the second condemn activates, you're gonna press ghost, you're gonna run at her. You can go fleet footwork if you want, just like all the other ranged top laners. I wouldn't really... I'd say either or. No, I'd say second wind. Second wind, fleet footwork. You can go Doran's ring if you want, because I feel like the fleet footwork is enough against Vayne. Because if she's landed 2 auto attacks and she tumbles forward, you can just press W, sit under tower for 22 seconds, get your W back for the condemn setup like I was talking about. A hard top lane matchup, but probably the easiest out of all top lane ranged matchups. It might be here, but I'm gonna say here. Man, we're almost done. Volibear, I'm gonna be honest, I don't know where his damage is coming from. He's always solo killing me. Every stage in the game, though. He builds Divine Sunderer. Same issue as things like Poppy Jax. He shuts off your towers when you're trying to play safe. So you have to keep your health topped off. I don't really understand the laning phase just yet. Yeah, I'd say here, but... Doran's ring... Go Nashor's Tooth first, because you don't really want to try to fight him. Just try to scale up to 3 items with Shadow Flame, Riftmaker, Nashor's. You might be able to outduel him then. But if you got a big enough lead topside, probably like this, just try to hold out while you can. Call for jungle if you feel like the enemy is about to dive you. Alright, Warwick. Everyone's favorite little doggy in the top lane. So, this lane is really annoying, but Warwick will never kill you unless you're trying to fight him. Because the longer the fight goes on, the stronger Warwick gets. The lower each person's HP is lowered, the stronger he gets. If you never try to fight him, you're not low HP, so his W isn't activating, so he doesn't have increased movement speed, so you can just walk away. The only time he's going to find solo kills is when you were trying to deliberately trade with him. But he is a sustaining monster, so long as you just let him CS and then grab what you can, you're not going to get solo killed by him. This is one of the few times where you might want to get an Oblivion Orb really, really early. I just really hate getting Oblivion Orb early because it stunts your Mythic. So I would say Riftmaker into Oblivion Orb is when you can start fighting him. Oh, also, Warwick players that take Barrier Flash top lane, I hope your pillow is warm tonight. Just so you know. Now that's harsh. They deserve it. They're playing Warwick top lane. Alright, Yon. This is like the Camille matchup where it's all about spacing, but Yon just does it better and safer because of his E. He's going to set up crazy combos. He's going to stack his Q up. He's going to ult you from afar. And it's going to work because when you press W as Gwen, he dashes into your W, so he always gets his knockup. The only time you can avoid the one of his knockups is Q3 max spaced. It will not go in your range, and you'll just be immune. That being said, I found out that you can take lethal tempo and taste of blood into him. Oh, I didn't talk about Warwick runes. Standard setup. This. But, Yon, I saw a master tier Korean player do this. And I tried it, and it was really nice. This. And then you go TP and Ignite. It's kind of like Riven, where you're trying to nullify his engage. So when he tries to use his lethal tempo to scale it up, you use your E and you try to dodge his Qs. So you reach lethal tempo at the same time, you use your Taste of Blood to get a little bit extra HP, and hopefully the Ignite plus lethal tempo plus E is enough to get rid of him or burn his flash. But I did try this, it works really well. Another thing I tried is the new Overheal. I went something like this. And he got one solo kill on me the entire game. And after 25 minutes, my Overheal started really ramping up. And this ended up blocking 6,000 damage in the game. So I think this rune is very, very good. I'm just not talking about it as much with all of these because I haven't used them against a lot of these characters. But into Yon, this is really good. And then you would go TP and Ghost. Yorick. So, I have seen on things like u.gg and op.gg of Yorick losing this matchup. I don't know how, right? When I was fighting Yorick, it was a different build. He was going Serrated Dirk into Eclipse. I don't know what the current matchup is, or build path is. I think it's Ravenous Hydra first, but that's not much better. He's going to stack up his minions. And your first thought is, why are you letting Yorick stack his minions? And that is because at level 6, you are invalidated as a top laner. Because you can no longer walk up due to Maiden. He is going to put Maiden behind him. If you ever walk up, he puts Maiden forward. You can no longer CS. If you try to go for a trade, Maiden's going to fuck you up. So you are doing really, really well from levels 1 to 5. Level 6, you lose the lane to Maiden. Maiden is impossible for Gwen to deal with until 3 to 4 items. And even then, Yorick has been bullying you so much that you are probably starving for XP. So you probably are 2 or 3 levels down at this point. You just gotta hope that your team can kill Maiden. If he doesn't have Maiden, Like, it's like this. Like, somewhere right here. Like, Maiden is what makes Yorick so strong. You kill Maiden, you kill the Yorick. I have seen Zach top a little bit. Or no, it's not. I haven't played against it enough, and it's kind of just gone. I haven't fought a Zach top in like 2 months at this point. I'm not going to talk about it. Okay, last one. The new Giga Chad himself, Cassante. This is the one tank that it's like, I don't know what I'm doing. When do you think this will be uploaded on YouTube? I'm hoping a week or so. We'll see though. Alright, so Cassante. This character, it feels like you're fighting Tank Gwen, honestly. Character dashes better than you, character's tankier than you, character does more damage early than you. If you ever get ganked while your ult is up as a Cassante player, you ult one of them and then you take the 1v1. It's kind of like Gwen, when she presses W, you're trying to pull the W away and take a 1v1, get a solo kill, leave. This is a very hard top lane tank matchup, and if you guys want a accurate representation, DrewToots posted a video like 2 days ago, when this was made, of him fighting against a Cassante that had a Sans mod on. And he literally had to take Ignite. He got a lucky Ignite tick on Cassante. I don't think he ever killed Cassante the rest of the game without like 3 or 4 people there. Is that everyone? That looks like everyone. Alright, well, we are done. What about not yet top? Vlad's a mid laner. Here, I'll no, I'm Vlad's a mid laner. Through and through. He is not a top laner. Yeah. Everyone else I can talk about in a different video. Trundle? Okay, I can't talk about Trundle. Trundle is a menace. His auto attack Q does so much damage. If he gets a Sheen, he's gonna build Divine Thunder or Triforce or Blade of the Rune King. I'm gonna be honest, I don't even know what he builds anymore. The fact is he steals your stats in 1v1s. So your stats that you're trying to use against the Trundle are helping him. Yes, you deal max health or percent max health true damage. He is healing constantly in the 1v1. You are not going to find a great time to win the 1v1. I think maybe at like 4 or 5 items you absolutely wreck him. But at that point in the game, it's kind of just TDM. Like, if you're at 4 or 5 items after a terrible laning phase, everyone else in the game is full build. So your team is probably going to deal with Trundle before you are. Okay, well, I think we're done here. If this is on YouTube, like, sub, comment. If you have any questions, either comment under the video or on our Discord. Anyways, have a good night, day, whatever. Peace.